What's up YouTube, it's your girl AK and we are back here with another video. This is a market analysis video for this week. I just want to go over my instruments and just kind of give you my analysis, my ideas. Again, this is only just my ideas, right? Take with a grain of salt. I still think you should do your own analysis, right? And do your own markups. But yeah, this is just my ideas, not financial advice whatsoever. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the charts right here real quick. I'm getting right into it because the market opens in an hour. But okay, right now we're looking at SPX500, right? This is the weekly time frame. I just want to start off by going over the different directions, right? The weekly, the daily, and the 4 hour, just to get an idea of where we're looking on the higher time frame. So let's start with just some direction, right? So on the weekly, as you look, right, you can see that we are currently bullish. So if I get my path tool, you can see that we have made a higher high, breaking this high, right? Lower high, we failed to take out this low, right? New high, right? Lower high, new high, right? And currently we're in this lower high state, right? So you might be able to expect a push up sometime soon, just from looking at this, but let's dig a little deeper, right? So for right now, let's just see that we are currently bullish on the weekly, right? So I'm gonna get my time frame confirmation chart, and we can leave this weekly as bullish. I'm just gonna move it up here, and let's keep going. Let's go to the daily. Okay, daily is a little different, right? Let's see what's going on here. So daily, as you can see, we broke up. We broke this high, making this bullish, right? Came down with the lower high because we could not break this low, right? Another push up, so we made another higher high, right? We have a lower high, higher high, right? Right here, we kind of made like an equal low right here, right? And then price failed to break this low on the daily, right? And then we actually finally ended up breaking this low, making our daily time frame bearish. So we can actually change this up, right? Our daily is currently bearish, as you can see, right? And then currently you can see we are currently in this pullback state as of right now on the daily. So right now, weekly bullish, daily bearish, right? So let's go ahead and take a deeper dive into the 4 hour and see what our 4 hour time frame is looking like. So let's go to the 4 hour. Boom. 4 hour. So 4 hour, as you can see, there was a point where we did shift bullish. I was actually in this buy, right? But I got out last week. But as you can see, at one point price, we were going with the overall trend. We were making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? And there was a point where price finally broke structure, right? Came up and we started shifting bullish on the 4 hour, as you can see. Now, as you can see, price is kind of starting to stall, right? Our higher highs are getting lower and lower. And as you can see, we actually just broke structure on the 4 hour. If you can see it right here, our last 4 hour low was here and price just closed below, right? Currently on the 4 hour, right, we attempted to break this high but failed, and it looks like we're getting ready to push back low. So our 4 hour time frame is also bearish, right? Okay, so weekly bullish, daily 4 hour bearish. Typically when I'm trading, I look at the most 2 consecutive time frames, right? So whatever the 2 consecutive time frames are saying, that's the direction I trade, right? So currently, as you can see, our 2 consecutive time frames is the daily. This should say bearish. I thought I said bearish, but I wrote bullish. Sorry about that. This is bearish. Our daily is bearish. As you can see, the 4 hour, we also just broke structure. So my daily and 4 hour, they are both consecutive, like they're next to each other, and they're both saying bearish. So because we have 2 consecutive time frames going in the bearish direction, I am personally looking for sales, right? So really, this was just a pullback on the daily, if you can see. Yeah, so if you look on the daily time frame, really, price just did what? Well, we had structure here, right? This was our support that was broken. So we have daily structure right here. This daily support just changed into daily resistance because we are rejecting this level, right? As you can see, there are buyers above, sellers below. So this level is significant. We are currently rejecting this level, right? Price is just looking to basically have that break, which we did. We got the retest and we're just looking to continue lower basically on the daily. So on the 4 hour, you can kind of see that happening, right? Price is shifting and we're actually creating a new resistance level right here. So there's actually 4 hour resistance sitting here at this level, as you can see. Right, so just resistance right here, looking to potentially get into sales, right? Basically just looking to kind of just scale in on the 1 hour for sales. If you want to get like an overall Fibonacci, you could take our swing high, swing low, right? So if I'm looking to sell, my first target would be daily liquidity, right? Here's the liquidity sitting here on the daily. So that would be my first target. Second target would be my 27 extension, which is pretty close to the psychological level. So typically what I'm looking for on this particular instrument is, again, on the 1 hour, we're already kind of getting that shift of structure. I'm just looking for a price to basically do it again. So I just want to see another break of structure, basically. Once I get my break of structure, I just need another retest, right? And then I'll be able to enter this break and retest and just hold it to daily liquidity, right? And potentially this 27 extension or the psychological level, depending on how long I want to hold it. So kind of what I'm looking for here for SPX is just a potential sell, right? It's probably gonna happen on Monday. So just keep an eye out. Remember, you gotta wait for the retest. The retest is important. Like if you don't get the retest, you can get faked out. Price can easily break and make you think it's going lower, right? And then just reverse, right? it can completely do that to you. It can liquidate you, right? So you want to make sure that price shows you that it doesn't want to go any lower before getting in for that retest, right? Once we break back below that level, right, this particular support level, once we break back below this 1 hour support, that's kind of what I'm looking to basically push down and hold for sales. So this is what I'm looking for on SPX. I am bearish this week on it until structure says otherwise, right? But yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Jumping to EURJPY, I want to jump to a weekly real quick. And I just want to look at overall structure and just see what's going on. So hi, my drawings, right? Here is EJ. As you can see on EJ, we are bullish. My last swing low was here. My last swing high was here. Price is just kind of doing its thing in between this swing low and this swing high. Until price breaks this swing low, we are still bullish, right? So as long as price stays above this on the weekly, we're bullish, right? So on the weekly, we are bullish. Let me fix that. That should say bullish. All right, bullish weekly. Okay. Jump to a daily. All right, daily. Let me hide this for a second so we can really focus. So on the daily time frame, as you can see, we were bullish. We were making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low. I need you to pay attention right here. Okay. Technically, we body candle closed above this high. It's very slight, but as you can see, this candle body closed higher than this candle body. If you want to see it clearer, jump to a line chart. Look, this line, this point is higher than this point. So right here, as you can see, price, we came up, right? We broke structure, okay? We came down for a correction. We made a new high. And then what did the price do? We broke this low. So we broke a low on the daily. So technically, right, on the daily has just shifted bearish on EJ. I need y'all to look at this, right? If you look on the line chart, you can see it clearly, right? We broke above, we closed above, came down, came higher, and then we broke structure. So the daily is actually bearish, which is crazy because the yen pair has not been bearish for a while. But I'm gonna give you my theory or idea of why I think it's bearish. But I'm gonna get into that later. It's mostly on UJ, but yeah. So as of right now, we are bearish on the daily, right? Jump to a 4 hour time frame. I'm gonna actually delete this because it's no longer true. Jump to a 4 hour time frame. As you can see, price, we came up. So we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And then right here, we finally shifted, right? And we're breaking structure 4 hours. So 4 hours is also technically bearish too. So bearish. We have a very bearish market starting off this week, which is very interesting. But yeah, we are bearish technically on EJ, right? So again, same thing, right? Our last break of structure was here, right? We're kind of low right now. We can't really do anything at this point. We will kind of have to wait for a pullback. Let me jump to a 1 hour. Yeah, so basically we're getting ready for a retracement. So you can actually draw a Fibonacci tool if you trade with Fibonacci. If you don't, it's okay. But you could draw a Fibonacci tool with your retracement levels. So here's my retracement levels. And just look to see where price wants to retrace back to. Ideally, we want to retrace back to where price has broken structure. So we're looking for price to come back and retest this particular area. Around this area, I expect for price to kind of respect, right? I don't expect price to break this high if we're bearish on the daily and 4 hour, right? So I expect price to, you know, stay here. If price does come above this level, that's fine, right? As long as we don't break this swing high. But before I sell, I need price to actually come back below this particular level right here. So again, this area where we had broken structure, this was at one point, this was 4 hour support that we just broken, right? So this was 4 hour support. This 4 hour support is going to change into 4 hour resistance at some point if we respect this level. So I need price to basically come up and show me it doesn't want to go any higher than this point, right? And I need price to actually break back below this level before I can look into potentially getting into sales on EJ. So that's kind of what I'm looking for on EJ. EJ may not even retrace that far, right? It might even just retrace to just this, if I'm being honest, it could just retrace to like this psychological level and then head down. So you really have to watch it. If you really want to be sure, you want to scale in on the lower time frames, like a 5 minute, 15 minute, to really show when the correction is over. I actually have a video about that for entries. If you want to learn about sniper entries, you can check out this video right here. But we're not talking about entries, we're just giving analysis, right? So EJ, yeah, I am bearish on EJ. I'm looking for just a break and retest of EJ, right? Pretty similar story if you on UJ, if you're looking at UJ. So UJ, my weekly, as you can see, ooh, this is actually interesting. So with UJ, check this out. My weekly actually just shifted bearish, right? Which at some point I expected it. Why? Because look where we are on the weekly on UJ, right? We are at levels where last time price was up here on UJ, it fell, right? We just returned back to that same level where price took a tumble. So it makes sense for price to kind of repeat itself, right? So yeah, the yen pairs are starting to shift into this bearish market, as you can see. This was exactly, if I hide this for a second, if you look at my time frame, this was exactly on January 6th of 2025. So this was exactly a year ago where price fell at this point. So we're back here at the end of January looking to, again, fall at this same price point, which I find is pretty ironic, honestly. But yeah, we're at this level. Notice how on the weekly, if I bring my drawing tools back out, right here, we're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and then boom, we break structure on the weekly, right? So if I hide this, y'all can see it. We just close below this weekly swing low right here. So our weekly has just shifted to being bearish. So I can actually adjust this chart to say that we are now bearish on the weekly. Okay, daily, pretty similar story, right? So daily, we were making a higher high. This is our higher low. We made a new higher high, right? Price came down. We tried to make a new high, but we failed to make a high, y'all. And then we tumbled, we crashed. And we are currently breaking this daily support. So there's daily support right here that we are currently in the process of breaking. So our daily is actually bearish. We closed below this low, making it bearish, right? So this was daily support. This is us breaking through it. So now our daily time frame is also bearish. Bearish, right? Okay. Jump to a 4 hour. Same thing. You can see it clear as day on the 4 hour, right? Price, we were making higher highs and then we just shifted low and we are breaking. So we are bearish on the 4 hour as well. That's pretty obvious, right? All my time frames are basically bearish, right? So kind of what I'm seeing right now, it looks like we are heading into a bearish market with the yen pair, specifically UJ, right? UJ has sold up here before. This isn't no new, like this is nothing new, basically. This has been a thing, right? So I kind of expected price to eventually have a big sell-off at some point once we got up to these highs. And it's finally happening. So yeah, we might see some long-term selling for the next couple of months for UJ. So just, just be aware, like we've been buying for a while. So we're shifting into a new market. So just let's be mindful. But yeah, it's about that time. But yeah, those are my yen pairs. That's basically my bias. Just again, waiting for some kind of correction to happen. We cannot enter down here. We need price to actually give us a retracement. So you could actually draw a Fibonacci tool as well if you want to see when it wants to come back for that retracement, right? Some kind of retracement before heading down. It's kind of what we're looking for. Our last area of structure that was broken on the 1 hour is here. So you can potentially look here, but that's a pretty deep retracement, if anything. I don't even think it's going to retrace that much. If anything, it might even keep dropping because we have a lot of bearish pressure trying to break through. So I would say just keep your eye on UJ right now. It's still in this dropping phase. I don't think it's looking to correct anytime soon. So just keep an eye on UJ, really both the yen pairs, and just wait for that retracement when it's ready. And then last, but certainly not least, we have gold, right? So with gold, let me hide my drawings. Yeah, gold, we have just been pushing. It has been a crazy push, right? So obviously, gold is bullish all the time. Gold is bullish on the weekly, as you can tell. We're bullish on the weekly. We're obviously bullish on the daily, right? 4 hour, we're also bullish as well. We're just bullish on gold right now, right? I'm actually currently in a gold position. So if I put my position tool back on, well, I'm gonna do that later. But yeah, 4 hour, as you can see, we broke these all-time highs and we're making new all-time highs. As you can see, we had a correction right here. We tried to, retest this level, and now we're pushing back up, making new highs in the 4 hour. So yeah, if you're looking to get into gold, I would definitely wait for a strong pullback, because we're definitely in a big push right now. I would not look to get into any buys at this point until we get another pullback. So just be patient with gold. I'm currently actually in a position on gold right now, as you can see. Where is it? Yeah, so I got in gold down here before we broke all-time highs, as you can see. I'm looking to see price get to this psychological level 5,000. It seems to be a pretty significant psychological level. You can see there's a lot of sellers sitting right here. I'm really interested to see how it's going to look when the market opens. I'm really not sure. Hopefully it's flying above, because that means I'm deep in profit. That'd be great for me. But level 5,000 does seem to be a pretty significant level. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are selling at this level, so I wouldn't be surprised if price does start to kind of show some, weakness here, because people are taking profit at this level. I know I will be taking some profit at this level as well. So, but yeah, with gold, you just need to wait for some kind of retracement. So right now, here's currently the 1 hour, right? I will wait until the 1 hour actually shifts back to being bearish. So right now we are basically still making higher highs, right? We can't really get into anything if everything is super bullish. We need a really strong pullback, right? We want a really good pullback to get into gold. So gold, we're bullish on all time frames, as you can see. Yeah, basically like on 1 hour, 4 hour, just wait for price to kind of just shift back to being bearish for a little bit. We want to see some kind of shift of structure on the 1 hour or 4 hour, like some kind of bearish structure being created. Why? Because being bearish on the 4 hour or 1 hour is basically a pullback on the daily. And if you get a pullback on the daily, you're going to get a really nice position to get an entry to go even longer, right? You want to wait for these daily pullbacks on the daily time frame before you get in, right? These daily pullbacks is the best position you can possibly wait for if you want to hold long-term on gold. I trade gold more as like a position trader, right? I don't really trade it much as a swing trader. I just try to find the best position on the daily, the best pullback, and just see how long I can hold it for, and just take partials as I go. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now in this position, right? Basically. So yeah, we want to wait for this 1 hour or 4 hour to start shifting back down, right? Because that will tell me that on the daily, we are getting a nice daily pullback. And then once we get that daily pullback and it's ready to head back up, that is when you want to kind of look to get back in. Of course, you're going to find that on either the 1 hour or 4 hour as well. So basically, you're going to wait for price to just give you this retracement. And then once it finally shows that it wants to, you know, come back up and we're making bullish structure again. I'm not saying it's going to happen at this price level. I'm just saying in general, because price might still come up, right? In general, we need the 1 hour and 4 hour to shift bearish for a second, right? So we can get that daily pullback. And as soon as the 1 hour shifts back to becoming bullish, that is your entry, and that's where you want to get in long term for gold, right? So just wait for some kind of bearish pullback on the 1 hour or 4 hour, and so you can get that big retracement on the daily. And then once you get that, you'll be able to be in a better position, right? Because we do not want to buy at these highs, bro. Like, you do not want to buy up here. You want to wait for some kind of daily pullback, right? So let's be smart, and or at least a 4 hour pullback, right? At least a 4 hour. So let's just see what we can wait for if you just want to position it and be in a better spot, right? Now, if you do just want to hop in with a trend, then it's fine too. You can. I'm just saying this level 5,000 is significant. That's all I'm gonna say. So, but if you do want to wait for the 4 hour, that's cool. Just wait for the 4 hour to keep pushing. Get your retracement. You can look on this particular level. This was the last level. Structure was broken on the 4 hour, right? If you just want to get in with the trend, you can do that too. It's fine. This is the last level. Look for price to come back to around this level. And if it doesn't want to break this level and it looks to continue to push up, right? It looks to continue. You can scale in on the 1 hour to really see that. That's when you can also get in as well. So just be patient with gold. Honestly, I feel like waiting for the daily pullback is the best thing to do, but you know, to each their own. Once you're making all-time highs, right, you don't really know where price wants to go. So it's just better to just wait for that big pullback, in my opinion, right? But every trader is different. But yeah, that's really it for me. Pretty quick, really straight to the point. I just wanted to give you my idea and kind of what I'm thinking. The markets are pretty much just shifting bearish at this point, which makes sense. We've been buying for a very, 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 very long time on these particular instruments. So it makes sense to have these, you know, particular pullbacks. So, but just know, like, when it comes to gold, and when it comes to XP500, these type of pullbacks are great because long term, we know that these instruments are very bullish. And as a swing trader, it's just a great discount and just a great position overall for us, right? So be excited. This is an exciting time in the market when you get pullbacks like this. So great positions. So I hope y'all enjoyed this analysis. Very quick, very straight to the point. I'm just trying to get this out for y'all before the market opens. But I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I am looking, I'm reading, you know, and I will answer them. But yeah, until next time, good luck in the market, y'all. Bye.